Welcome to Panda Head Studios. Now that you're here, join the Panda Force by hitting that subscribe button. We're starting a new series about talking about comic books, and the first issue is going to be Immortal Hulk #1. It's written by Al Ewing, penciled by Joe Bennett, inked by Roy Jose or Rue Jose. I'm sorry, butchering his name, but I'm difficult to pronounce names. Colored by Paul Mounts, lettered by VC's Corey Pettit, and the cover was done by Alex Ross. Just a little precursor to what had been going on in the Hulk world of Hulk is he had recently been killed by Hawkeye with a gamma arrow, and he was thought to be permanently dead. But this series picks up where Bruce Banner is in a gas station and a guy comes in with a gun to rob the place and then shoots Bruce Banner and a little girl, and Bruce Banner looks like he's about to be Hulk out, but then the bullet just goes through his head and he drops dead. The image looks awesome, I think. Like, the artwork in general is just amazing in this. And then there's like this really lame part where this reporter and a cop are discussing what had happened at the gas station, and then it jumps to all the bodies at the morgue, and you see Bruce Banner's corpse turn into the Hulk, and it looks really cool too because it's just his body and then his hands like hanging off the gurney, and it just turns into the Hulk hand. And then it jumps to the robber at biker gang's house, and they're essentially extorting him money, forcing him or manipulating him to essentially go rob places and suggesting for him to go do these things so they can make money off of him. And when they convince him to go do a job, he leaves, and then Hulk just smashes in and just wrecks all the bikers. And just the action and the motion of that, and Hulk just doing classic like horror movie tropes of like smashing through walls and grabbing people, and it just being mayhem, just absolute mayhem, and in only ways Hulk can smash. And then you get a really awesome scene of the Hulk goes after the actual robber while he's out walking on the streets, and the robber like gives up and says he'll go to the police, and Hulk says that the police are not going to punish him well enough or something along those lines. And then the guy says he has a kid. Well, actually, no, sorry. It opens up with a really cool thing where Hulk first addresses him, because Hulk actually talks to him, which that's why I like the Hulk Independent series. He's not Hulk Smash. He usually actually has dialogue. He's a character all unto himself. And he says to the guy the girl's name and says that she's 12 years old. And he just starts begging for mercy, saying he'll go to the cops. And then Hulk says that they're not gonna, like, it's not proper punishment for what he's done. And then the guy like pleads with him and says he has a daughter, and it's not making Hulk stop, and he's slowly like coming at him, and like it's really sticking. Like, there's just this undertone of like a horror movie where they're taking something from like the classic horror movies, and then the guy says, "I'm not a bad guy, am I?" And then it just then it gives Hulk pause, and then he smiles in an evil way, like it has this really evil grin on his face. It just looks so cool. Like, the artwork again, just I'm just gonna keep gushing. He breaks all the guy's bones, and then it jumps to Bruce Banner looking in the mirror at Hulk, asking, "I'm not a bad guy, am I?" And then Hulk is smiling at him the same way he smiled at the robber, and that's the end of the issue. Everything about this, like, you can tell that's why the series is still so popular and why these early issues are sought after so much. It's just the writing, and like, I highly recommend you go get this and trade and pick up the series, or if you can score the old issues, because they have been re-releasing them, or well, they had, because now they're re-releasing them to a pretty far point too, which is pretty incredible for comic books in itself. And I just can't recommend this series more so, because where it goes from here, and then like this particular start of this arc, and where like every other piece, Like, just really go out and read this. That's all from me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this issue or the series as a whole in the comments down below. Now that you are part of the Panda Force, don't forget to hit that bell icon for future orders. And if you'd like to join me in gaming, follow me on Twitch. And for future updates, follow on Twitter. Links are in the description down below.